God manifests His presence in different ways. He is present in His saints so as to comfort them. He is present in hell so as to torment the damned. God is both present in heaven and hell, and makes His presence known for different purposes. Again, God is graciously and lovingly present to His saints, but God is judicially and horribly present to the reprobates who are in hell. The Bible says, "Whither shall I go from thy spirit? Or whither shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. For thou hast possessed my reins. Thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and thy soul knoweth right well. My substance was not hid from thee, when I was made in secret, and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Thine eyes did see thine substance, yet being unperfect. And in thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them." Psalm 139, verses 7 through 16. Let us stop for a moment and consider what the omnipresence of God is not. God being present everywhere does not mean that every object we encounter or see is God. This would be pantheism. God is everywhere, but God is not everything. God is everywhere present in His creation, but He is completely distinct from all of His creation. We may also point out that God is not mixed or combined with His creation. God is not dissolved in His creation like sugar stirred into water. God's essence remains entire in itself, although it be everywhere. Augustine used the example of a sponge submerged into water. Although the water surrounds the sponge and is even throughout it, yet it does not mix with it, nor become part of it. Examples like this are always in some way inadequate. They commit the fallacy of analogy, where water cannot be said to penetrate the actual matter of the sponge. God can be said to be in every particle or division of matter, but not part of that matter, not mixed with that matter, and not that matter. The doctrine of the omnipresence of God demands that we also discuss the aseity of God. This is the teaching that God transcends all of His creation. God is majestically greater than all things. He is higher than all things. The Bible says, "But will God indeed dwell on the earth? Behold, the heaven and heaven of heavens cannot contain thee. How much less this house that I have built?" 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 27. Stephen Charnock again makes a wonderful statement. Charnock says, "The world cannot be said to contain Him, since it was created by Him. It cannot contain Him now, who was contained by nothing before the world was. As there was no place to contain Him before the world was, there can be no place to contain Him since the world was." Existence and Attributes of God, page 377. This is the end of the first part of this lecture on the omnipresence of God. I'd like to take a moment just to endorse Stephen Charnock's book one more time. The book I've been quoting from that he wrote is called The Existence and Attributes of God. Charnock was a Calvinist. He was a Presbyterian who lived in the 1600s. You don't always hear a lot about Stephen Charnock today, but he was an excellent Calvinist. He wrote many good books, many good essays. You can get his book, The Existence and Attributes of God, usually from Christian book distributors. I think they sell the book at around $10. It's a big book. You're looking at about 1,000 pages, so it's a good deal for $10. It's usually sold in hardback. Another Old English Calvinist and Puritan I highly recommend is John Owen. Make sure you get his books unabridged. There's a lot of people who put his stuff out in small paperback abridgments, and I wouldn't waste my time on that. You can get his stuff unabridged if you look. It costs you a little bit more, but it's well worth the money.